Welcome to my channel HD Rare Coins 111, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. The story of American coins is more than just the history of currency. It is a reflection of the people, the places, and the values that define the nation. Among these coins, the Washington Quarter Series holds a special place, and within that series, the 2007 Montana State Quarter shines brightly as one of the most distinctive designs ever produced by the United States Mint. When the 50 State Quarters program was launched in 1999, it was designed to celebrate the individuality of each state, while also igniting a new passion for coin collecting. By 2007, the program had already captured the hearts of millions, and the Montana Quarter stood out as a bold symbol of frontier spirit and natural beauty. The obverse of the Montana Quarter carries the familiar image of George Washington, the nation's first president. Sculpted by John Flanagan in 1932 and carried forward into the State Quarter program, this portrait represents continuity and leadership. Yet, it is the reverse of the Montana Quarter that commands the spotlight and captures imaginations. On the reverse side, the coin features a striking image of a bison skull set against the sweeping Montana landscape. Above the skull is the inscription, "Big Sky Country," a nickname that evokes the state's vast open spaces and its endless horizons. This simple yet powerful design pays tribute to both Montana's cultural heritage and its breathtaking geography. The bison skull is not merely a design choice, it carries deep symbolism. To Native American tribes of the Great Plains, the bison was a source of life, providing food, clothing, and shelter. The skull serves as a reminder of the past, of survival, and of the sacred relationship between people and the land. In Montana's Quarter, it stands as a proud emblem of resilience and respect for history. The rolling landscape in the background of the design further reinforces Montana's identity. Known for its rugged mountains, wide plains, and sweeping skies, Montana remains one of the most beautiful states in America. The quarter captures this essence in a small, metal canvas that fits neatly in the palm of your hand. When the Montana Quarter was released into circulation on January 29, 2007, it was immediately met with enthusiasm. Collectors across the country eagerly added it to their growing sets, while Montanans themselves took special pride in seeing their state represented so powerfully on a piece of national currency. The design process for this quarter was no small feat. Residents of Montana were given the opportunity to submit ideas, and after careful consideration, the chosen design highlighted both the state's cultural past and natural environment. The bison skull stood out as the most symbolic and memorable choice. Coin collectors often talk about eye appeal, and the Montana Quarter has plenty of it. The contrast between the bold skull and the delicate landscape makes this coin visually stunning, and over the years, it has become one of the most easily recognized of the State Quarter series. Beyond design, condition plays a vital role in the value of any coin. The Montana Quarter was minted in large numbers, but only a small fraction survive today in pristine condition. High-quality examples, especially those graded at the top levels by professional grading services, are sought after by serious collectors. The Philadelphia and Denver mints both produced circulation strikes of this coin, while the San Francisco Mint created proof versions. Proof coins struck with specially polished dies exhibit mirror-like surfaces and frosted details, making them especially attractive to collectors. Error varieties also add excitement to the Montana Quarter. Mis-strikes, doubled dies, or off-center strikes can dramatically increase a coin's value. These rare mistakes capture the attention of enthusiasts who are always on the lookout for unusual specimens hidden among ordinary pocket change. The Montana Quarter also reminds us of the broader purpose of the 50 State Quarters program. By encouraging Americans to learn about their states, their history, and their geography, the program brought history into everyday life through coins that passed from hand to hand. Even today, the Montana Quarter remains a conversation piece. People who discover it in their change often stop to admire its bold design, unaware that certain rare examples can be worth far more than their face value. Collectors and historians alike view the Montana Quarter as a bridge between the past and present. It acknowledges the legacy of Native American culture, the role of the buffalo in shaping frontier life, and the unique identity of a state known for its untamed beauty. The durability of the coin's message lies in its simplicity. A bison skull may seem stark, but it speaks volumes about Montana's spirit, its ruggedness, its respect for history, and its endless landscapes that still inspire awe today. Coins like the Montana Quarter remind us that even small objects can tell big stories. Every detail, from the lettering to the imagery, is chosen with care, making each state quarter a piece of history that doubles as a work of art. As years pass, the 2007 Montana Quarter continues to increase in desirability. Collectors recognize it as one of the most memorable entries in the series, and competition for high-grade or rare examples has driven prices to impressive heights. What makes this particular quarter so fascinating is that it appeals not only to collectors but also to anyone who values history, culture, and design. It is more than just a coin, it is a tribute to Montana and a reminder of the stories coins can carry. The coin has become a lasting symbol of state pride, often featured in collections, displays, and educational programs. Children learning about the United States through the State Quarter series encounter Montana's story through this striking image. In this way, the coin serves as both a keepsake and a teaching tool. It connects generations, encouraging young collectors to begin their journey and reminding older ones of the deeper history behind each design. When viewed under magnification, the details of the Montana Quarter truly stand out. The fine lines of the bison skull, the textures of the landscape, and the crisp inscription show the precision and artistry of the United States Mint. This attention to detail is one reason why numismatics, the study of coins, remains such a rewarding hobby. Each coin holds secrets waiting to be discovered, and the Montana Quarter is no exception. As part of the State Quarter program, it also reflects the democratic spirit of America. Citizens were able to voice their opinions and shape how their state would be represented for years to come on a circulating coin. The Montana Quarter captures the essence of a state where the past and present meet. It tells a story of people, landscapes, and traditions that continue to define Montana's identity. For collectors, owning a pristine example of this coin is like holding a piece of Montana itself. Its bold design and cultural depth make it a highlight of any collection. And for those who discover rare, high-value versions of this coin, the surprise can be life-changing. What may appear to be an ordinary quarter at first glance can turn out to be worth an extraordinary sum. That is the magic of coin collecting, the possibility that history, art, and value might all come together in the palm of your hand. And in the case of the 2007 Montana State Quarter, some of the rarest and most valuable examples have sold for an astonishing $75,000. Top 2. The world of coin collecting is full of fascinating treasures, and among them, the Washington Quarter Dollar Series stands as one of the most celebrated. Within this iconic series, the 2009 Puerto Rico Quarter holds a special place, not only because of its design but also because of the story it tells about America's history and culture. When the United States Mint introduced the District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarter program in 2009, it was an extension of the wildly popular 50-state quarters program. While the state series had already captured the imagination of millions, this new series gave recognition to places that were not states, but still part of the American family. Puerto Rico, with its deep cultural heritage and strong connection to the United States, was one of the honored territories. The obverse of the coin continues the tradition of featuring the portrait of George Washington. This familiar image, designed by John Flanagan in 1932, links the quarter to the nation's founding ideals and leadership. But the reverse design is where the Puerto Rico Quarter tells its story in a unique and striking way. On the reverse side, the Puerto Rico Quarter proudly displays a sentry box overlooking the sea, a direct reference to El Morro, the historic fortress in San Juan. This powerful symbol represents protection, defense, and the resilience of Puerto Rican history, stretching back to the days of Spanish rule and extending into its modern connection with the United States. The design also includes a hibiscus flower, the national flower of Puerto Rico. This detail adds a softer, more natural element to the coin, reminding us of the island's vibrant culture, its tropical beauty, and the pride of its people. Together, the sentry box and the hibiscus create a perfect balance of strength and beauty. Above these images is the inscription, Isla del Encanto, which translates to Island of Enchantment. This poetic nickname captures Puerto Rico's charm and allure, offering a glimpse into why the island is so beloved both by its residents and by visitors from around the world. The release of this coin in 2009 was a moment of pride for Puerto Ricans everywhere. For the first time, their culture, history, and natural beauty were permanently etched into U.S. currency, allowing millions of Americans to carry a small piece of Puerto Rico in their pockets. Collectors immediately embraced the coin for its distinctive design. While state quarters had been popular since 1999, the Territory series introduced fresh imagery and gave collectors something new to pursue. The Puerto Rico quarter stood out for its detailed artistry and deep symbolism. The United States Mint produced the Puerto Rico quarters at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints for circulation, while the San Francisco Mint produced proof and silver-proof versions. Each minting offered something unique for collectors, from the standard circulation strike to the mirror-like elegance of the proof coins. Condition has always played a crucial role in a coin's value, and the Puerto Rico quarter is no exception. While millions were minted, only a tiny fraction survive in flawless condition, untouched by circulation and preserved with perfect luster. These pristine examples are the ones that serious collectors seek most. What also makes this coin exciting are the potential error varieties. A doubled die, off-center strike, or other minting anomaly can dramatically increase the value of a Puerto Rico quarter, turning an already interesting coin into a rare and highly desirable collectible. The Puerto Rico quarter also carries historical importance. It reminds us that the story of America extends beyond the 50 states, reaching into its territories, each of which contributes to the nation's identity. Through this quarter, Puerto Rico's culture and history became part of everyday American life. One of the reasons this coin is so captivating is that it embodies both history and beauty. The strong lines of the sentry box echo the resilience of Puerto Rico's past, while the delicate hibiscus represents the vibrancy of its culture and environment. Coins like this one serve as more than currency. They are miniature works of art. Every detail of the Puerto Rico quarter was carefully chosen to symbolize pride, strength, and enchantment, making it a favorite among collectors and history lovers alike. The Puerto Rico quarter also carries educational value. Teachers and parents often use the quarter programs to spark conversations with children about geography, history, and culture. For many young collectors, discovering Puerto Rico through this coin was an introduction to a broader understanding of America. Collectors know that the rarity and desirability of a coin are enhanced by time. Though 2009 may not seem long ago, high-grade examples of the Puerto Rico quarter have already become prized possessions, their value climbing as demand increases. The artistry of the design also contributes to its collectability. The contrast between the rugged fortification and the delicate hibiscus makes the coin visually striking, a design that holds up well even under magnification. As with many modern quarters, the Puerto Rico coin connects everyday Americans with history. Someone might find it in their change and, without realizing it, hold a powerful symbol of Puerto Rican culture in their hand. It is this blending of accessibility and symbolism that makes the Puerto Rico quarter so special. Ordinary coins can tell extraordinary stories, and this quarter is one of the finest examples of that truth. For Puerto Ricans, the quarter is more than just money, it is a reminder of identity, resilience, and pride. Seeing the words, Isla del Encanto, inscribed on U.S. currency reinforces the recognition of their cultural heritage on a national scale. For collectors outside Puerto Rico, the quarter offers a glimpse into the island's story, inspiring interest and appreciation for a place rich with history and beauty. This cross-cultural impact has only increased its popularity in numismatic circles. The Puerto Rico quarter is also part of a broader legacy of commemorative coinage in America. Like all great coins, it connects the present with the past, showing how even a small piece of metal can preserve stories for generations to come. It is often said that coin collecting is about more than money. It is about passion, history, and art. The Puerto Rico quarter embodies all of these qualities, making it a standout coin from the U.S. Territories series. As years pass, the value of this coin has risen, not only in monetary terms but also in symbolic significance. Collectors treasure it as a piece of American and Puerto Rican history combined. What makes this story truly exciting is that, for some lucky collectors, owning a rare, high-grade Puerto Rico quarter has meant discovering that a small coin can be worth a life-changing amount. This is the thrill of numismatics. The possibility that a coin pulled from a handful of change might turn out to be something far more valuable than it seems at first glance. The 2009 Puerto Rico quarter captures the enchantment of the island, the resilience of its people, and the artistry of American coinage in a single design. It remains one of the most beloved coins in the Washington Quarter series, and some of the rarest examples of this coin, preserved in the highest condition or with rare errors, have been valued at an extraordinary $65,000. Top 3. The world of American coinage is filled with remarkable designs, each one telling a story that goes far beyond its face value. Among these fascinating issues, the 2015 Washington Quarter from the America the Beautiful series, dedicated to Homestead National Monument of America in Nebraska, stands out as a symbol of history, survival, and progress. When the United States Mint launched the America the Beautiful Quarters program in 2010, it was meant to continue the tradition of the state quarters while shining a light on national parks and historic sites. By 2015, the program had already introduced collectors to several breathtaking designs, and the Homestead Quarter quickly became one of the most memorable. On the obverse of the coin, we still see the familiar profile of George Washington, the nation's first president, designed by John Flanagan back in 1932. This iconic portrait ties the coin to America's roots, while the reverse design takes us into a very specific chapter of the nation's history. The reverse of the Homestead Quarter features a design rich in symbolism. At the center stands a simple wooden house, representing the homesteads that gave settlers new lives under the Homestead Act of 1862. This act allowed ordinary people to claim and develop land, shaping the western frontier and fueling the expansion of the United States. The house in the design is flanked by two large water pumps, one on each side. These pumps highlight the importance of water for survival, for farming, and for building a life in the rugged conditions of the Great Plains. To those who tried to make a home there, water was not just a resource but the very key to survival. Surrounding the central image are rows of corn, another important symbol chosen for the coin. Corn represents agriculture, growth, and self-reliance, the qualities that defined homesteaders as they turned raw land into fertile farms. Together, the house, pumps, and corn tell a powerful story of determination and resilience. The Homestead Quarter was officially released on February 9, 2015, and it quickly found its way into circulation, giving people across the country a small piece of Nebraska's history. For collectors, it became more than just spare change, it was a miniature piece of art and storytelling. The Homestead National Monument itself, located near Beatrice, Nebraska, preserves this chapter of history. It honors the courage of families who sought new opportunities and faced great challenges to build their futures. Through this coin, their struggles and triumphs are remembered and celebrated. What makes the Homestead Quarter even more fascinating for collectors is the attention to detail in its design. The shading of the house's roof, the lines of the pumps, and the texture of the corn stalks are all beautifully engraved, making the coin stand out in any collection. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced the circulation strikes, while the San Francisco Mint created proof and silver-proof versions. Each type has its own unique appeal, from the everyday charm of a coin found in change to the mirror-like brilliance of a silver-proof. Collectors also prize this coin because of its connection to American history. The Homestead Act of 1862 changed the course of the nation, giving opportunities to thousands of families, including immigrants who dreamed of owning land and starting anew. The quarter immortalizes that dream in metal. The Homestead Quarter has also become well known for its fascinating error varieties. One of the most popular errors is nicknamed the Snow on the roof. Error, where extra markings above the roof of the house look like a layer of snow. Variations like this spark excitement and significantly increase the coin's value. Another sought-after error variety involves extra lines appearing around the water pumps, sometimes referred to as extra water flow errors. These errors are the result of die polishing and minting imperfections, but to collectors, they represent rare treasures worth searching for. The presence of these error coins has kept the Homestead Quarter in the spotlight, even years after its release. Hobbyists regularly check their change hoping to discover one of these valuable varieties hidden among ordinary coins. Beyond its errors, the quarter stands on its own as an attractive design that captures a defining moment in U.S. history. It reminds us that the nation was built not only by famous leaders but also by ordinary families who worked the land and persevered through hardships. Coins like the Homestead Quarter help us appreciate the power of small details. In the size of a palm, you can hold an image that represents decades of struggle, growth, and success. It is history condensed into a symbol you can actually touch. The America the Beautiful Quarters program aimed to bring history and culture into the hands of millions, and the Homestead Quarter fulfilled that mission beautifully. Each coin that entered circulation carried with it a story of courage and survival. For Nebraska, the coin was a source of pride. It put the Homestead National Monument on the national stage, reminding everyone of the role Nebraska played in shaping the American frontier. For collectors, the Homestead Quarter became a challenge and a joy. Completing a set with proof coins, circulation strikes, and error varieties provided hours of discovery and adventure. The coin also became a favorite for new collectors, many of whom were drawn in by the thrill of searching for the error coins. For them, the Homestead Quarter was often the gateway to the broader world of numismatics. As the years go by, the coin continues to gain attention and appreciation. The combination of its symbolic design and error varieties ensures that it will remain a popular collectible far into the future. Like many modern quarters, the Homestead coin has a dual identity. On one hand, it is everyday money meant for circulation. On the other, it is a finely crafted piece of history and art that collectors treasure. The duality of the Homestead Quarter captures the essence of numismatics: ordinary coins that hold extraordinary meaning. Whether discovered in a coin roll or carefully graded in a collection, it holds the same powerful story. When placed under magnification, the details of the Homestead Quarter truly shine. The delicate engraving on the corn, the architectural lines of the homestead, and the fine design of the pumps are a testament to the artistry of the U.S. Mint. This craftsmanship is what elevates coins like the Homestead Quarter beyond currency. They become cultural artifacts, telling stories in ways that books and monuments alone cannot. For many collectors, holding a Homestead Quarter is like holding a piece of the American dream. It connects them to generations of people who work tirelessly for a better life. And in the fascinating world of coin collecting, some examples of this coin in pristine condition or with rare errors have achieved extraordinary values. The Homestead Quarter of 2015 is proof that even the smallest piece of metal can carry enormous historical weight and financial worth. It is a coin that continues to captivate collectors and inspire admiration. And for the rarest examples of the 2015 Homestead Washington Quarter, the value has reached as high as $55,000. Top 4. The United States Quarter is more than just a coin used for everyday purchases. It is a canvas for history, culture, and national pride. Among the many quarters released under the famous 50-state quarters program, the 2002 Ohio Quarter stands out for its design and the story it represents about innovation, courage, and progress. The 50-state quarters program began in 1999 and continued through 2008, with each state celebrated on the reverse of the Washington Quarter. When Ohio's turn arrived in 2002, it was an opportunity to highlight one of the state's greatest contributions to the world: flight and exploration. On the obverse of the Ohio Quarter is the familiar portrait of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan in 1932. This image links the modern state quarter program to decades of American coinage tradition, while the reverse tells the unique story of Ohio. The reverse design of the Ohio Quarter is a true celebration of achievement. At the forefront stands the Wright Flyer, the historic airplane that marked the birth of aviation. Orville and Wilbur Wright, who lived in Dayton, Ohio, achieved the first successful powered flight in 1903, and their legacy is honored in this coin. Beside the plane stands an astronaut, representing the state's extraordinary contribution to space exploration. Ohio is the birthplace of 24 astronauts, including Neil Armstrong, the first person to walk on the moon. This dual imagery of plane and astronaut perfectly captures the state's role in both aviation and space history. I and the background of the coin is an outline of the state of Ohio, grounding the design firmly in its geographic identity. This bold outline makes the coin instantly recognizable, linking Ohio's contributions to its physical place on the American map. Inscribed on the reverse are the words, "Birthplace of Aviation Pioneers," a title Ohio proudly claims. From the Wright brothers' first flights to the astronauts who reached for the stars, the state has been at the forefront of human exploration of the skies. The design was chosen after much consideration, with Ohio residents and officials eager to showcase their state's proudest achievements. It was a design that spoke not only to the people of Ohio but to the entire world. When the Ohio Quarter was released on March 11, 2002, it immediately attracted attention. Collectors lined up to get rolls of the new quarters, while residents of Ohio celebrated the honor of their history being etched in a coin that would circulate nationwide. For many people, the Ohio Quarter represented inspiration. It reminded Americans of the endless possibilities that come with innovation, courage, and determination. It was not just a state quarter, it was a symbol of reaching for the impossible. The artistry of the coin is remarkable. The delicate lines of the Wright Flyer, the confident stance of the astronaut, and the crisp outline of the state all come together in a design that is both simple and powerful. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced circulation strikes of the Ohio Quarter, while the San Francisco Mint created proof and silver-proof versions. Each has its own charm, from the ordinary coins that pass through countless hands to the shimmering proofs kept safe by collectors. What makes this coin especially interesting for numismatists are the rare high-grade examples and occasional error coins. Errors such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, or unusual die clashes make ordinary quarters into extraordinary treasures. Collectors are always on the lookout for pristine specimens. A circulation coin may have scratches, dings, or wear, but a flawless coin graded at the highest levels by professional services can be worth a small fortune. The Ohio Quarter also holds a unique place in the broader narrative of the state quarter program. While many states celebrated natural beauty or historic landmarks, Ohio chose to highlight its spirit of exploration and achievement. That decision makes this coin timeless. The symbolism of the Ohio Quarter goes beyond aviation and space. It represents the American dream itself, the ability to dream big, to experiment, to fail, to try again, and eventually to succeed in ways that change the course of history. For young collectors in 2002, the Ohio Quarter was often their first introduction to the Wright brothers and to astronauts like John Glenn and Neil Armstrong. In that way, the coin became an educational tool as well as a collectible. Over 2 decades later, the Ohio Quarter continues to fascinate. Collectors prize it not only for its design but also for what it represents, a bridge between past and future, between the first flight and the first step on the moon. Its lasting popularity also comes from the sense of pride it instills. For Ohioans, this quarter is a reminder that their state played a pivotal role in shaping modern history. For others, it is a reminder of the shared spirit of innovation that defines America. Even ordinary examples of the coin remain fun to find in circulation. But the rarest examples, those with special errors or in gem-quality condition, have become the subject of intense competition among collectors. The Ohio Quarter reminds us that a coin is never just a coin. It is art, it is history, and it is culture condensed into a small metal disc. It is something you can hold in your hand and yet feel the weight of centuries of progress. Looking closely at the coin under magnification, every detail stands out. The lines of the Wright Flyer, the curves of the astronaut's suit, and the engraving of the state borders show the careful craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint. This attention to detail is part of what makes collecting quarters such a rewarding hobby. Every design, every minting, and every variation adds a new layer of fascination. The Ohio Quarter has a story that connects us all. It is about dreaming bigger than anyone thought possible and achieving what once seemed unthinkable. From Dayton to Kitty Hawk to the surface of the moon, it tells the story of human progress. As years pass, the value of certain examples of the Ohio quarter has only grown. Collectors know that coins like this, with strong historical themes and eye-catching designs, will remain popular long after the program has ended. The Ohio quarter is more than spare change. It is a tribute to the pioneers of the air and the explorers of space. It is a reminder that history is not just in books but in the coins that pass through our very hands. For those who are fortunate enough to discover the rarest versions of this coin, the reward is far greater than the thrill of holding history. It can also mean holding something of significant financial value, and for the most exceptional examples of the 2002 Ohio-Washington quarter, collectors have paid as much as $92,000. Top 5. Coins have always been more than pieces of metal, they are storytellers. Every line, every design element, every inscription carries with it a narrative of culture, history, and pride. Among the memorable coins released under the 50-state quarters program, the 2007 Washington quarter shines with a design that captures the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest. The 50-state quarters program, launched in 1999, was one of the most popular initiatives in the history of the United States Mint. Each coin honored one of the 50 states with a design that reflected its heritage. By 2007, the program was nearing its conclusion, and Washington's turn gave collectors something breathtaking. The obverse of the quarter retained the iconic portrait of George Washington, first engraved by John Flanagan in 1932. This familiar image tied the series to decades of tradition while allowing the reverse design to tell a new story. On the reverse, the Washington State quarter presents a spectacular image of a breaching salmon leaping before the majestic backdrop of Mount Rainier. This composition captures two of the most defining symbols of Washington's identity: its thriving wildlife and its awe-inspiring landscapes. The salmon, central to the design, represents the lifeblood of Washington's rivers. For centuries, salmon have been vital to the ecosystems, the economy, and the culture of the region. The image of the salmon leaping upward suggests persistence, vitality, and the natural cycle of life. Behind the salmon towers Mount Rainier, one of the most iconic landmarks in the Pacific Northwest. Its snow-capped peak is instantly recognizable, representing the grandeur and natural beauty that define the state of Washington. The coin also carries the inscription, "The Evergreen State," Washington's nickname. This phrase highlights the abundance of forests and the natural greenery that makes the state stand out year-round, regardless of season. When the Washington quarter was released into circulation on April 2, 2007, it quickly became a favorite among collectors and residents of the state. People felt a sense of pride at seeing their land and symbols represented so vividly on a coin that would travel across the country. The design process had involved input from state officials and the public, with several concepts considered before the final choice was made. The decision to pair the salmon with Mount Rainier struck the perfect balance between cultural importance and visual beauty. Collectors admired the artistry of the coin. The detailed rendering of the salmon in motion, the contours of the mountain, and the clean lettering made the design memorable and visually appealing even at such a small scale. Like other state quarters, the Washington coin was struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints for circulation, while the San Francisco Mint produced proof and silver-proof versions. Each type has its place in collections, from pocket change finds to pristine proof specimens. Condition has always been an essential factor in determining the value of the Washington quarter. Coins that entered circulation show wear, but uncirculated or high-grade examples maintain their luster and sharpness, making them highly desirable. Era varieties also add excitement to this coin. Collectors are always searching for doubled dies, missed strikes, and other minting anomalies that can transform an ordinary coin into a rare treasure. The Washington quarter is not just about rarity, it is about symbolism. It captures the state's identity in a way that resonates with both locals and outsiders. The salmon and mountain together tell a story of nature, resilience, and beauty. For many young collectors, the Washington quarter became an introduction to the culture and geography of the Pacific Northwest. It inspired curiosity, making them want to learn more about the state behind the coin. The quarter also served as a reminder of the interconnectedness of America. A coin minted in Philadelphia might carry an image of Washington State into the hands of someone thousands of miles away, spreading knowledge and pride. Years after its release, the Washington Quarter continues to stand out in the series. Its design remains one of the most admired and talked about among the 50 state quarters. It also reinforces the idea that coins are more than currency, they are miniature monuments. While buildings and statues are rooted in place, coins travel, carrying their stories far and wide. Collectors often speak of eye appeal, and the Washington Quarter certainly has it. The graceful leap of the salmon against the towering mountain creates a sense of motion and grandeur that captures attention instantly. The coin also reminds us of the relationship between humans and nature. The salmon, a crucial part of the ecosystem, is an enduring symbol of balance and sustainability, themes that remain important today. The 50 State Quarters program as a whole was designed to educate, inspire, and connect Americans with their heritage. The Washington Quarter fulfilled this mission beautifully, combining cultural pride with natural elegance. Even for casual collectors who simply kept one quarter from each state, the Washington coin was often a favorite because of its striking design. Many people held on to it, not for its monetary value, but for the beauty it represented. But for serious collectors, the Washington Quarter offers opportunities for discovery. High-grade examples, proofs, and rare-era coins are coveted items that can elevate a collection. The artistry of the Washington Quarter reminds us that great design can make even everyday objects feel extraordinary. It shows that a coin can be both practical and poetic. In numismatics, coins like this one highlight the value of paying attention to details. What looks like ordinary change might hold a story worth far more than its face value. For residents of Washington State, this quarter became a small but powerful emblem of pride. For others across the country, it became a window into the beauty of a land they may never have visited. Today, more than a decade after its release, the Washington Quarter continues to command attention and respect in the world of coin collecting. Its combination of symbolism, artistry, and rarity makes it unforgettable. And for the rarest examples of this 2007 Washington State Quarter, preserved in exceptional condition or showing unique errors, collectors have paid as much as $70,000.